My name is Meredith. I am a 27-year-old office worker. I met my husband Philippe at a matchmaking party for single people. Philippe is an elite guy who works for a major company, and he was so good looking that he was so easy on the eyes, and a lot of women were interested in him at that matchmaking party. When I was at the matchmaking party thinking that all of the men who were at the party were all good looking and that it was such a high-level party, that is when Philippe approached me and asked me for my contact information. After a few more dates to get to know each other, well, we started to officially date each other, and after 6 months of dating, Philippe proposed to me, so I said yes, and that is how we got married. At our wedding, my friends and colleagues were all envious of me because Philippe was such a handsome guy and was successful at his work and had a very good income. To tell the truth, I was very proud of myself. I even thought that God had gifted him to me for my happiness, since I have just been leading such mediocre life. I am just an ordinary woman with average grades, normal appearance, graduated from average university, and had a normal job at a normal company. I would just do my normal job and just spend my normal days in my normal life. So, I really didn't understand the reason why Philippe was attracted to me, even while we were dating, or even after we tied our knot. But I couldn't ask him the reason of why he was attracted to me, because I was afraid that question would bother him and didn't want him to think I am annoying. When we were dating, Philippe was always very kind to me. He took the initiative in deciding where to go on dates and was very dependable. He knew a lot of restaurants and he knew a lot of good places for him to take me around. Since he works for a major company and had very good earnings, he would take me out to very high-end luxurious restaurants and give me many expensive gifts such as brand bags and jewelries. Also, my parents-in-laws gave me the impression of them being a very classy household. My parents-in-laws, Nathaniel and Sophia, and my sister-in-law, Chloe, lived in my parents-in-law's house, and when I went there to greet before our marriage, everyone was always smiling and was very kind to me. So, I was half expecting that I would be able to spend happy days if I got married to Philippe, and the other half wondering if I would be suitable for such a marriage. While I had that thought in my mind, we got married. We did our wedding ceremony, enjoyed the honeymoon, and we started our life together as a married couple. Philippe told me that I didn't have to quit my job. So, I decided to continue for now. I wanted to save money for when we had children in the future. Life as a married couple was good at first. Every day, I got up early in the morning, made lunch boxes for my husband and myself, and prepared breakfast. Then, when I got home from work, I would do some light household chores and prepare for dinner. I made sure that I was ready when my husband came home, so that he could choose between taking a bath or having dinner. I thought I was doing a pretty good job balancing my work life and my private life. Then, about 2 weeks after we started living together as a married couple, my husband suddenly called me in to talk to me. "Oh, what is it, honey? What do you want to talk about?"
About the household chores. Can you work on it more, differently?
What?
How shall I say this? Well, it's not quite right.
What do you mean? I didn't understand what he was trying to tell me. I thought I had done everything right in my own way, and I didn't think that there was anything wrong with it.
Oh, you don't get it. I see. Well then, I will explain it one by one. First of all, for breakfast, why do you serve frozen food only?
It's because that's very efficient and delicious.
See, that is the problem. I don't think it's delicious, and you shouldn't think of efficientness.
What are you saying? To begin with,
for breakfast, I want something nutritious rather than frozen food, which is very junky and not good for health. Every morning, I want to eat salad, a warm soup, and cooked meat, and fruits, and yogurt for dessert.
Oh, I see.
And for my lunch, I would like to see more variety. Every day is just the same peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I'm kind of sick of it.
I'm sorry. Since I work too, I tend to make same thing over to make it easier for me to prepare.
I don't care what kind of work you do.
What?
Meredith, what you should prioritize is to take care of me and my health. Essentially, we can live on my salary alone since I do have high earnings, so you shouldn't put much effort on your job. You should just enjoy it as if it is your hobby. If you neglect the household chores too much, I'll make you quit your job.
Oh, no way.
Oh, well, look at the time. I have to get going. Well, we will continue this talk after I come back from work today, okay?
Wait, there's more to this conversation? Because of this conversation, I was very exhausted from the morning. But in any case, I had no idea that my husband was so dissatisfied with me. At that time, I still didn't understand that Philippe was just a moral harasser. I obeyed to him as he demanded. This made household chores very difficult to do, and I was extremely tired from trying to balance it with work. Whenever I was a little late because of doing the household chores, Philippe would get very angry with me and scold me.
How many times do I have to say the same thing? I didn't think you were this bad at remembering. Do you want me to abandon you?
In hindsight, I should have realized and leave him at this point, but Philippe had brainwashed me into thinking that I was the one who was completely at fault and was the one to be blamed for everything bad. And there was someone else who cornered me into a thinking that I wasn't good enough, besides my husband. It was my mother-in-law, Sophia. Sophia often came to our house on holidays, and she had the same kind of morally harassing temperament as Philippe. "Meredith, would you make me a cup of tea?" "Yes, sure thing, Sophia." "What?" Hold on. What on earth are you trying to do?" "Huh? I was just trying to make your tea. I've never seen the way you brew the tea before. I guess you were not taught how to brew the tea and the manners of it. I'm sorry.
Meredith, you can't do anything right, can you? Mother, Meredith is not much of a housekeeper, so I had to teach her everything from zero.
Oh my! Is that true, Meredith? Please, don't put too much burden on my son, since he is already very busy and occupied with his work. I'm sorry. Oh, but I'm not mad at you for being incapable, Meredith. There are so many people out there who are incapable of doing things just like you, so don't you worry. The important thing is to try to improve and try to be better. You just have to realize that you're not good enough first, so that you will be able to do the things what we tell you to do. Yes. Even though something was building up in the back of my mind, I had already been brainwashed by Philippe and Sophia, so I stopped thinking about it, and I am just never good enough for them. So, a year passed quickly in our marriage, and I became pregnant with a child. Later, a healthy baby girl was born. My daughter, Claudia, was really cute and became a precious treasure for me. During the days when my husband and mother-in-law were mercilessly abusive to me, the only time I could truly relax was when I saw Claudia innocently smiling at me. Since then, my daughter has grown up very fast. Since September, she started going to her elementary school and was very enjoying her life at elementary school every day. One of the weekends when Philippe had a day off from work, Claudia was drawing a picture. Philippe looked at her drawing and said, "What's that? You suck at drawing." Claudia was startled and began to cry because she was suddenly told such a cold-hearted thing. When Claudia started to cry, Philippe came up to me and said, "What a pain in the ass. Hey, you, what kind of disciplines are you giving my daughter? Claudia is making me look like I am the bad guy." Then at that time, I have realized the most important thing. I was the only one who could protect Claudia from this moral harasser. Philippe, you are the bad guy here. What? I'm saying that it's your fault that Claudia is crying because you told her that her drawing was bad. You're just my wife and you're accusing me that this is my fault? I have accepted all the things you have told me from the very beginning of our marriage without any questioning. But I will not tolerate your moral harassment on my daughter and will never forgive you for it.
Moral harassment? You are out of your line, Meredith. I don't want and need a wife like you. Get out of my house and leave with the child. This prompted me to leave Philippe with Claudia, and I returned to my parents' home. As soon as I returned home, Philippe has sent me the divorce papers. I was surprised that we would get a divorce this easily, but I did not want my daughter to be with such a father any more longer, so I signed and submitted the divorce papers right away. After the divorce was finalized, I asked my lawyer to break down how much I would pay my daughter until she reached adulthood, and also requested child support from my ex-husband. As for visitation, we agreed that Claudia would not see Philippe unless my daughter wanted to see him. Well, Philippe seemed to not care for Claudia as much anyways. The divorce completely cut me off from Philippe, and I had nothing to do with him anymore. From then on, I stayed at my parents',
and asked them to watch over Claudia while I was away at work working hard. Then one day, my ex-husband and ex-mother-in-law suddenly came to my parents' house without permission. There was nothing more to talk about with Philippe nor Sophia. We were perplexed, not knowing the reason why they visited us here. As my father asked them,
"What on earth do you want?"
Philippe and Sophia put a picture on the living room table.
"Look at this. Meredith, you were cheating on me and was having an affair behind my back with another man, weren't you?"
What are you talking about? Don't you dare pretend that you don't know what we are talking about. This photo was delivered to our house out of the blue. The photograph showed me entering a hotel room with another man who had his arms around my shoulder, who I have never seen before in my entire life. This picture was taken before we got divorced. That means you were having an affair while we were still a married couple behind my back. Wait a minute. I don't remember any of this. This photo is fabricated. You think you can get away with a lie like that?
I'm going to compensate you for alimony.
An alimony? Why should I even pay alimony after being falsely accused like this?
Well, since I'm not a monster but a saint, I'm willing to waive alimony in exchange for me not paying the child support for Claudia anymore.
When Philippe said this, I had an epiphany and realized what was going on. Philippe and Sophia teamed up and came up with a fake evidence that I was having an affair so that Philippe wouldn't have to pay for Claudia's child support anymore.
Hey, what are you going to do about it, Meredith?
You'd better admit your guilt and your wrongdoing soon. You might get the cold shoulder from your neighbors and co-workers in the near future. What? What do you mean by that?
I have shown this photo to your neighbors and your co-workers and told them what you did. That you were having an affair behind my back.
They were all surprised that you would do such a thing, Meredith. What a horrible thing you did! Why would you do such horrible thing to me?
When you do something wrong, you deserve to be punished, aren't I right?
I told you and have been telling you that I didn't have any affair.
Well, I have the proof and you're still denying of the fact. Whatever. If you're not going to do anything about this, I will ask you for compensation through my lawyer, so you better lawyer up.
After they said that, Philippe and Sophia left our house. But I don't get it. I didn't do such thing. As I had my head down in shock, my father warmly patted me on the shoulder.
Don't you worry, Meredith. Let me help you handle this situation. I'll take care of this.
Father? After he spoke to me, he grabbed his phone to dial and started to talk with someone on the phone. Within the same week, things took a turn abruptly.
Here, this is the original photo. That picture of you with another man, it was a fabricated photo after all.
What? How did you do it, Father? How did you get this photo? My father asked one of his friends, who is an investigator, to investigate this fabricated photo. My father specifically requested his friend to investigate the guy who was in the photo with me especially.
The investigator informed my father that the guy who was in the photo was a stranger to me, and he gave me the original photo data of the fabricated photo. The investigator told my father that the man was having an affair and that his wife had taken the picture.
Oh, okay, I see. But why would Philippe have such a photo?
So I asked him to continue his investigation, and he told me something interesting. It seems that the wife of this man who had an affair with him is a friend of your ex-sister-in-law, Chloe.
What? Then, does this mean...
Yes, that is correct. In short, Philippe got the photo through his sister and fabricated it as evidence of Meredith's infidelity, which is the fake news.
I cannot believe this. And if this is true, I will not forgive Philippe and his family. I decided to file a lawsuit for defamation, compiling all the evidence my father's investigator friend had collected and searched. Then, I sent a content-certified letter to my ex-husband's workplace, my ex-mother-in-law's part-time job, and my ex-sister-in-law's workplace. Sure enough, Philippe called me.
Hey! What the hell do you think you're doing, sending a content-certified letter to my office, Meredith?
If you guys didn't try to trick me with your dirty tricks, I wouldn't do such a thing. But you did. So you deserve this.
Well, I actually didn't know about it. I truly really thought that you were having an affair behind my back.
Then, who was the mastermind of this dirty trick?
Mother was the one who showed me the photograph.
Is that so?
Yes, that is right. I told you the truth now, so you come to my office to explain the truth. Since you have sent me the content-certified letter, all of my coworkers and boss are all giving me the cold shoulders.
Oh, the letter I wrote about of your moral harassment?
Yes, that is the one. Because of that letter, my boss is thinking I have issues.
But that is the truth. I have no other explanation for my letters other than you are a moral harasser. I am just informing the real fact truth.
But Meredith...
Well, good luck trying to win back your trust from your coworkers and bosses.
Hey!
As I told Felipe off, I hanged up the phone on him. It felt good to get back at my ex-husband in some small way. As for my ex-mother-in-law Sophia and my ex-sister-in-law Chloe, it seems that people at work think of them as cheaters who fabricate truth, and giving them cold shoulders. And Sophia and Chloe are feeling very ashamed of themselves. And as for Chloe, she has been abandoned by her friends after it was discovered that Chloe had taken the pictures of the wife's phone and opened it without her permission and sent them to her own phone. Well, she got what she deserved, didn't she? On the other hand, since Philippe and Sophia showed the fabricated photos, I have been misunderstood by people at work and in my neighborhood. But when the news got out that the photo which was shown to them were fabricated, they have been rather kind to me as a victim of fabrication. My daughter, Claudia, is growing up nicely and happily goes to school every day. I will continue to work hard and earn money while watching her grow up. Thank you for watching until the end. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button if you enjoyed my story. See you in the next video.